Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make classic pound cake. Classic pound cake is made with 1 pound each of 4 different ingredients, which is why they call it pound cake. A pound each of flour, butter, sugar, and eggs. Today I'm going to show you how to make a classic pound cake as well as talk about additions that you can make to change things up. To start, you'll need 1 pound of softened butter, and you want to make sure it's softened to room temperature. That's about 2 cups of butter, and then you'll mix it and whip it with a hand mixer until it's light and fluffy. Give it a good minute of whipping so you get that butter nice and creamy. Then we're going to add in a pound of sugar, which is about 2 cups. Get that in there and cream this in as well. I like to give that a solid minute of whipping as well. Next, we're going to add in 1 pound of eggs, and since eggs vary in size, you may want to weigh this one. For me, it was 9 eggs. I like to add them in 1 egg at a time. Once that's all beaten in, we're going to add in our last ingredient, which is 1 pound of flour. For me, that was 3 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add this in just a little bit at a time and mix it in between additions until all of the flour is mixed in. You should end up with a nice, thick, classic pound cake batter. Now, if you want to switch things up, there's some common changes that are made to this classic recipe. You can add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract for a little bit of vanilla flavor, or 2 teaspoons of almond extract for a little bit of almond flavoring. Another common change that is made is to add in a little bit of sour cream in place of part of the butter. Now, if you don't want to make all this huge batch of pound cake, the whole point is that it's a 1:1:1:1 ratio. So as long as you keep the ratios the same on the weights, or if you're not using pounds and you're in the metric system, just keep all of the weights the same and you have yourself a pound cake. Now you'll want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and lightly grease either a bundt cake or 2 loaf pans. I'm going to be using the 2 loaf pan option. So you want to divide the dough up evenly, or if you're using a bundt cake, just spread it out all in the bundt cake pan. I grease and flour my pans when I'm making pound cake because it tends to stick just a little bit. If you're using a bundt cake, you'll want to make sure you grease and flour it really well. Next, we're going to take these and bake them in a 350 degree oven for about 1 hour. If you're using a bundt cake, well then your time may be more like 90 minutes. You want to bake it until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Now, some ovens tend to brown the tops of cakes a little too much. If you want to protect your loaves from that, take a piece of aluminum foil, bunch it up so that it's all loose and sticks up, and place it gently and loosely over the top of your loaves. This will prevent your loaves from browning any further. Once your cakes are done baking, simply transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. Then you're ready to slice and serve. Thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of my videos where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. See you later.